Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and the very first sneak peek for the April 5-year anniversary Marvel Future Fight update has landed. And if you've seen the sneak peek or you've heard what it is from other people, you know why I'm in such a good mood. But before we get into that, I do need to give praise where praise is due to the Marvel Future Fight Netmarble Monster devs. And I know some of you guys thought I was joking when I said it's Netmarble Monster. I'm not calling them monsters because they're greedy or whatever. If you go and look it up, Netmarble Monster is a division of Netmarble, and they are the ones responsible for Marvel Future Fight. So anyways, big shout out to the devs for immediately fixing, within a couple hours of my video, they fixed this world boss Dimension Rift problem with the gold not dropping. Not only did they fix it, but as you can see, your tries will be reset. So if you played all 3 times and you got shafted out of gold 3 times, you get to play another 3 times. You do use another 60 energy, but it's a really good deal because you get all the other rewards, plus you will now get gold. So let me just really quickly run through this to show you guys that you do get the gold now. I really want to applaud the devs for fixing this so quickly. If they continue to fix problems that arise in the game this quickly with a 1-day turnaround, that is amazing. That is fantastic. I really have to, you really got to give them credit where credit is due, because we are so hard on them for all of the mistakes that they make. So you gotta, if you're gonna be hard on them for the mistakes that they make, then you gotta show love when they fix things. And this is absolutely a fix. Now, obviously, it could be a problem of, it could have just been a mistake, a bug, or whatever. It could have been intentional. Who knows? But either way, they fixed it. That's really all I care about. The gold is back. So you'll see here, bada bing, bada boom. There's 150,000 gold plus the rewards that we got before as well. There we go. Perfect. So that has been fixed. On top of that, they released a patch saying that they would fix the collector's vault that was incorrectly only showing 2 of the 4 vaults in the last run when it just happened a couple of hours ago, and it's going to show properly on the next day. Also, they've extended the world boss dimension rifts by an extra day to compensate us for this mistake. So I think their reaction and their answer to this problem is amazing. The collector's vault thing is kind of just whatever. I don't really care about collector's vault, but at least they fixed it. So big round of applause to the devs there. Good job. Thank you guys very much for listening. Now let's get down to the sneak peek. And you know what? The stuff that I just talked about is very relevant to the sneak peek, because listening to the devs is hopefully what they'll be doing with this first sneak peek. This is CM Fragment of the Marvel Future Fight team. It's been almost 5 years since our agents and heroes gathered to defend the Marvel Future Fight world from threats incoming from many dimensions. Yup, I remember back in the day, 2015, end of April, someone sent me a message like, hey, have you tried this new Marvel game? It's called Marvel Future Fight. And I was sitting in my apartment, standing or sitting in my apartment. I was sitting in my tiny shoebox apartment in Korea, and I go on my phone and I load it up, beta, hit it, be the first one to try it out, click it in, download it, install it, whatever, check it out. And I got instantly hooked. So yes, I absolutely remember. Before moving on to new battles, let's check your gear once more. I don't know what the heck that means. Shield is also preparing new improvements for the agents. And then they have this little video. So good. How's the first glimpse of the April update? It is magnificent. So let me show you guys what we're twerking with here, because you obviously don't know yet what I'm talking about. So this is the video. There's no sound, so don't adjust your receivers. We have this, shield agent implementing improvement protocol. And then we've got Shadowland, and we've got the image of Shadowland up here. We've got dimension missions, and we've got Wakanda there. It's just like the main page of dimension missions. And then down here we've got the inventory. Okay? And that's it. That's the whole sneak peek. That's the whole sneak peek. Now, I will say one thing. The guy who does the sneak peeks, I think he's paying a little bit of homage to me. Because these boxes with this very clean font looks very, very close to what I've been doing lately with my thumbnails for the past couple months. So shout out to the sneak peek guy. I love you, dude. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're safe. I hope your family's safe and your friends, and no one's sick, and it's all this kind of stuff. Thank you for doing your job. Thank you for being amazing in these trying and difficult times. Now, I'm getting emotional here. Let's talk about this, because this could be huge. And I just said it could be huge. I'm excited because at the end of the day, I want to have infinite optimism and infinite hope for Marvel Future Fight. I want this game to be as good as possible. Not only does it mean I continue to have a job making content, but it means I get to continue playing a game that I've come to love and I've invested a lot of time and money into for 5 years. So there's a lot of personal work and sort of emotional investment that I have into this game. I've made so many friends in this game through, not only the channel, but also just in the community. And I would hate to see that, come to an end or sort of degrade and be, sort of shut down if the game were to get worse. So I really, really want the game to be amazing. And I think this is a really good step in the right direction. Now, it's obviously possible that they're not really listening and that these changes are not really going to be what we want. We've seen in the past, we've seen mixed results. Okay, we've seen some updates where they listen to us and they make changes that we really want, and it's amazing. They added those first clear rewards to Shadowland Plus. That was fantastic. They added Galactus Giant Boss Raid and Silver Surfer. That was amazing. But then you have other issues and you have other situations where they listen to us by destroying Alliance Battle Extreme. They listen to us by, doubling the rewards for Conquest. Like, that doesn't do anything. That doesn't change the game mode. The game mode is still shitty. And so, or does anyone remember Alliance Raid? Yeah, that was a game mode. So, there's obviously two sides to every coin. Not every update can be perfect. Not every change can be perfect, but my God, I know that you and me and a lot of people out there are hoping that this is. So, looking at these three game modes or these three sort of angles that they've chosen to represent for the improvement protocol, hopefully there's more than this, I will say that, but I think that two of these are amazing choices. I think Shadowland is a really good target for reworks. It doesn't take a lot of effort to make Shadowland an amazing game mode. If they alter the way, really quickly, if they just alter the way that we get rewards from Shadowland Plus, if they give us a Shadowland Plus token shop, that would be a huge step in the right direction, right? Because you can play those stages, collect those coins, and save up for that reward that you want. That is the kid in all of us, right? Your mom gives you $1 every week, and you're like, I'm going to save this money, mama, and when I get $10, I'm going to buy that toy on the shelf. It's the exact same feeling. So you go into the shop and you see, it's the exact same feeling as we have now in Dimension missions when you go into the support shop. You go in here and you're like, you know what? I'm really looking forward to getting. Let's choose someone realistic here. I'm really looking forward to getting Hela tier 2. Okay, I gotta save up all these coins, these tokens. I gotta get Hela tier 2 because I got her uniform mythic for the CTP. Now I want to get her to tier 2 so I can actually use her in some content, right? And you save up the tokens, and then the day comes and you're rewarded for your effort and you're rewarded for your patience. That kind of thing is what they need to do in Shadowland. If they do that in Shadowland with the tokens or something like that, and if they add new stages, right? 10 new stages, 15 new stages, 20 new stages, that would be amazing. So Shadowland really has a huge potential to be a really great piece of content moving forward. And the great thing about Shadowland is even if they make smaller changes to it, they can always come back and make more changes to it. It's not going to negatively affect the game mode by adding new stages, whereas, tweaking other game modes can sort of ruin things. But with Shadowland, you're just adding. It's all additive. And because it's a weekly thing, you add just a couple of stages, but that can stay fresh for agents for months. Because they add 5 stages, you might not see 4 of those stages in your first week of playing. You might only encounter 1 of the new stages, but that rush of a new stage is going to feel brand new. And then the next week you see that same stage again, but then you see one of the other new stages. You're like, damn, there's still new stages. So you're constantly discovering these things. It's not like you're going to find all 5 stages unless you play all the way to stage 100 and you get lucky or you refresh on purpose or whatever. So you get what I'm saying. So Shadowland, huge potential here. Now, Dimension Mission, I will admit, I don't think Dimension missions really need any changes. Dimension missions are honestly one of the best pieces of content in Marvel Future Fight. If they're going to make them even better, sure. But I am always a little bit hesitant when mobile games tinker with stuff that's already really good. And we've seen them trying to tinker with World Boss, and that kind of ended badly. So I'm not sure what their plan is for Dimension missions. Maybe they'll open up higher difficulty level with more rewards. I don't know. But I think, honestly, Dimension missions are perfect as is, and they do not need to be changed, in my opinion. And then last but not least, we have the inventory. The inventory has been a much maligned part of the game, and I know that most mobile games have some form of inventory manipulation, and they do this, they do it because they're trying to make more money. It's an easy way to make money. Every game does this. Some games do it not in a way to make money, but in a way to sort of restrict and frustrate players. Even like, Resident Evil 3, I uploaded some content on that recently. You have situations where if you don't go and look for the hip pouches, you're going to have a really shitty time playing. So the game forces you to go out of your main route. If you're trying to burn through the story, it forces you to go out of your way to collect these things and do these side quests. Mobile games, it's a little bit more of a nefarious reasoning. They want you to click this button. They want you to press that button. They want you to throw money at the problem. That's you know, it's a win-win in their eyes, right? You're happy, you're not angry anymore, and we make money. Oh, it's a win-win. But that's that win-win sort of ruins the relationship between the game and the player, because the player, over time feels as though they're being taken advantage of. And we definitely feel like we've been taken advantage of in Marvel Future Fight when it comes to the inventory, because they're constantly adding new shit to the inventory. Not to mention anything else, right? Just the character bios. You're adding 2 to 3 more character bios every single update, unless you add a bunch of native tier 2s, and you'll still have their bios until you unlock them. So if you have 9 Silver Surfer bios, guess what? That's taking up an inventory slot. And so it's ridiculous that a game that has such a robust roster and adds so many characters update after update hasn't changed your inventory in literally years. If they weren't adding things to the inventory, players wouldn't be so frustrated, but they're constantly adding new things. Last update, they added 4 new items to your inventory. They added Mystique bios, they added Mr. Sinister bios, they added not Professor X bios. Okay, fine. Well, Professor X bios if you get him from the danger room, and then they added frickin' Mandalay gem fragments. So you know what? Yeah, it's high time that they change the inventory. Beyond increasing our inventory space, I do think that the inventory itself needs a little bit of an overhaul. I wouldn't mind them to honestly cut down on some of the materials that we have to make the game just simpler. If they get rid of, I know a lot of people have them stockpiled, so don't hate me. I'm not saying they should just delete your inventory, but if they for free allow us to rank up these materials, and then they just get rid of all 1 and 2 star versions of items, I don't really see a lot of value in like 1-star ISO, 1-star Uru, 1-star cards. So if they got rid of some of those and they started a baseline at 3 stars and it goes up to 6 stars, not only would that make future RNG less punishing for us, it would make farming more sensible, and it would make your inventories a lot less cluttered. Like, it's really stupid if you look at this, that I have 1-star version of the same thing, 2-star this is looking like Marvel Contest of Champions with characters, except it's items. And it's the same way for every item in the game, right? You've got your 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, So consolidation of item types is a really big one that they should obviously think of doing if they haven't already done it or thought of doing it. Honestly, getting rid of some items wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I just, making certain things easier for players, and then just getting rid of 1 to 5-star XP chips. I don't know why we have these. It should just only drop level 5 XP chips. Like, we're kind of past the point where you can monetize level 1 to 4 XP chips. So you sort of just have to let that go and just accept your losses. No one's out here buying level 1 to 4 XP chips, okay? So just, give us level 5 XP chips and just be done with it. And that way, players aren't gonna, take up inventory slots, and then players will get more of these. Players can level up more characters. Players can actually spend time playing the game. You want people playing the game, not managing their shit in the game that you're playing. I understand it's an RPG. I get that. There should be a lot of items, but we're kind of at the point of like, what is this, like, Legend of Mana or whatever it's called? There's too many item types, I gotta be honest. And then lastly, for inventory, I think they need to implement a feature to sell all of something. So we have this for cards and custom gear, but we don't have it for ISO 8. I don't know why. I should be able to sell all colors, 1, 2, and 3-star. If you're gonna keep this crap in the game, let me sell them all. Don't make me go through this 8 times for every single color. I think it's ridiculous. Now, this is a really good start. I have to be honest. This is a really good start. If they're, this is someone pointed out on Reddit, this is the very first sneak peek where we don't see a new character or a new uniform. They seem to be serious. They seem to be listening to us by giving us this as a first sneak peek. But the proof is always in the pudding. So I'm not going to get too hyped. I'm already hyped, but I'm going to try not to get too hyped about this. I'm still not spending any money. And hopefully when I see the APK, because I did apply for it as a star agent, yada, yada, yada. When I see the APK, hopefully I will have, bundles and bundles, and I'll be able to make a 20-30 minute video of good news with tons of changes. Honestly though, this is not enough. This is a really great start, but it's not enough. I really think that the devs need to seriously, maybe if this is the 5-year anniversary, and then in the next couple of months they make some more changes, but the devs need to seriously change PvP. Marvel Future Fight has one of the worst PvP systems in any game, And PvP is such an important thing for endgame players because they have nothing else to do, and it's especially easy to monetize for whales who just want to sit around slapping each other. So, you know, this whole tab is basically, you know, besides Alliance Battle, it's all PvP. They have to completely overhaul Timeline Battle, not just the gameplay, but the rewards and the restrictions and the content there. Conquest needs to be reworked completely. Alliance Tournament needs to be reworked completely. They need to step away. They need to bury the autoplay only thing. Bury that shit in the backyard. We'll never speak of it again, all right? Seriously, the only thing that changes in Timeline Battle is this nonsense right here, and this is the most hack crap ever. I know that I was hyped for this like 2 years ago when they introduced it, but I was only hyped for it because I was like a guy in the desert, you know, completely dry and exhausted, and I hadn't had any water for days. You know, anything looks like a mirage if you're desperate enough. So I sort of, you know, overhyped this. Obviously, this is not good enough. So, you know, I'm still being realistic. A lot more stuff needs to change in the game, but this is a really good first sign. So let me know what you think. Let me know how hype you are for it and what you think should change regarding Shadowland, Dimension missions, and inventory. Maybe there's something I'm missing about Dimension missions, but hit me up in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.